Hey, I'm Tim Cox. Welcome back to Planning to Fail, and today I'm joined by...
My name is Joachim Renning. I've just directed Tron Ares in theaters October 9th. Didn't land, did it?
Try not to laugh.
Felix, where do we begin?
Oh gosh. Mum gave me my first name, Dad gave me my last name, so they kind of met in the middle. Middle name each, very diplomatic of them.
Okay. How many middle names do you have?
Two, just two.
Wow.
It's like English thing.
Gotcha.
I think it's English. Anyway, went to film school, as people do. I went to film school for a couple of years at Censor This in Post, and then I got really into filmmaking when I saw the movie 12 Monkeys as a kid.
Right.
Very cool, trippy, fun movie. And I was kind of like, oh, you can make up a whole world, and that's like a valid thing to do for a living. Sign me the fuck up. Like that's kind of everything I could ever want.
It's a great movie, but that's such a very much make a whole world kind of movie, isn't it?
Yeah, but he doesn't do things in halves. Like Jerry Gilliam, that was like a lot of the first kind of movies I set up and noticed, because there were just no rules to it, and just really pure gleeful anarchy and just surreal, but just like in a way that's like, I don't give a fuck. You're watching it or you're not. Like he did not care about how the audience felt. He just wanted to make something that felt completely, I don't know, of its own ilk.
And were those the kinds of movies in particular that interested you, or was there a much more eclectic, like...
It's pretty all-encompassing.
I
like every kind of movie. Like I think my top four... Do you want to do a letterbox?
Let's do a letterbox top four.
That's so cute.
Excuse me, censor that. We'll do a top 5.
Boxed letter top 6.
Yeah.
Wait, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh no, I have to go. I'm
know.
the host. I don't have to say it.
I'm just hosting. My boxed letter top 4 is Hot Rod.
Oh, love Hot Rod. Honestly, same. That'd be my top 4 as well. Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me Before Sunrise.
All right, that's where you lose me.
Give me Chunky Express, and give me Gremlins 2.
What was the third one?
Chunky Express, 1994, Wong Kar-wai.
Wow.
And
that is a very eclectic selection.
Yeah, the film nerds will love it. And number 4, I want to take Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
There you go. You heard it here first.
It's completely sincere.
Wow. I mean, that's a really eclectic mix of films. And do you think that they all kind of influence you equally, or is there like Hot Rod or Gremlins or something like that is like that's your comfort movie, but then Before Sunrise is the kind of film that you would rather emulate?
I don't think so. I think my ideal movie has all 4 of those things.
How does that look?
Like hard rubbish.
There you go. Well, I guess that's the best segue that we can possibly get into talking about hard rubbish. Actually, before we talk about that, can we just like have a bit of a breakdown on where the film is currently, where it sits right now? You made the proof of concept, and the proof of concept was supposed to act as a proof of concept for a feature film that you would. I mean, what were you going to do with it?
So the proof of concept we shot almost for 3 separate reasons. So the idea was that this guy would retreat into the woods, the main character retreats into the woods to make this album. And we thought the best way to do that would be to go on location scout, but use it as a proof of concept.
Okay.
I also want to stress, and this is going to come up a lot on this show, that we want to make it as cheaply as possible.
Yes, that will come up a lot on the show. Yes,
a lot.
Yeah.
So I think the idea was that not only are we going to location scout and get a proof of concept, we're also going to audition me. We haven't said this. I was going to play the main character in the film, and I don't act at all. So the idea was that we would go out into a few different locations, get some sides from the script, do some improv, and kind of package that together almost as like an audition reel for myself to see if I could watch back the footage and A, stand it, B, go, yeah, that's the character on the page. So that was kind of the idea of the proof of concept.
Okay.
Less so to find funding, because we really wanted to do this as guerrilla as possible.
Okay.
But more
proof of concept for yourself. So not only are you I find it really funny that you're doing an audition for yourself. I think there's something poetic about that. But not only are you trying to audition yourself, you're also trying to prove to yourselves that it's worth pursuing as a 90-minute feature-length film.
I'd say even beyond that, I can talk a bit about the proof of concept. That's 100% true in like a greater context, but I think what we found to be true when we were making it, it was just me and my friend Sam Smith, who's not the pop singer, but a very talented cinematographer.
Thanks for clarifying.
I didn't want anyone to be confused.
Yeah, sure.
But he's a very talented cinematographer in his own right, a good friend, and we just kind of like being outdoors, going on long walks and talking, and that's what the film's about.
Okay.
So we kind of went out, just the two of us, and shot the proof of concept, and more than anything, it was just fun. Like it really just, it was fun. It didn't feel like the whole stress, hubbub, high stakes environment that you sometimes get from like a low budget filmmaking set.
Yeah.
It wasn't that at all. So I think what we got out of the proof of concept was definitely like the idea that we could prove it to ourselves, but also it was just nice to hang out with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a better reason than any to make a movie.
It's the best reason to make a movie.
Yeah. So can you give us the elevator pitch on what this project is, what it is going to be, what it was going to be?
Absolutely. I think I always had a thing in the back of my head, which was make a film before a certain age. So when I was 18, it was 21. When I was 21, it was 25.
Yep.
I'm now 26. But this was intended to be that first feature because in my head I had almost like this ticking time bomb where it's like I have to make it before a certain point or it's a failure. Like it's all been leading up to nothing. So this was that. The idea was always that it was going to be super cheap. It would be super cheap, character and story first, because those are cheap. And it would have a technical kind of language that was completely of its own ilk, and it could stand on its own 2 feet, existed in spite of like the kind of creative, the budgetary constraints. I wanted it to feel like something that was like lightning in a bottle and kind of more piss and vinegar than technical polish. And this kind of made the most sense.
Okay.
So the film was a kind of weird mockumentary metafiction thing. It was kind of in the middle of Spinal Tap and like Iranian New Wave. You're going to see why I didn't make this. And it would have made no sense or money.
Yeah.
But the idea was that a kind of destitute musician goes out into the middle of the woods to make an album, his debut album, and a camera crew follows him. And hilarity ensues. It was going to be, I'm doing a lot of the mugging.
You can mug as much as you want, man. There's no rules here.
I'm going to keep doing it. But yeah, the idea was kind of like in the middle of a Spinal Tap and Iranian New Wave.
Gotcha.
Which is, yeah.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because you're talking down a little bit on the film.
For sure.
And you haven't made the film. Now, you made a proof of concept for this film, and you haven't decided. Now, there is still time. You're only 26. That's still 4 years before you're 30. Even if you decide to make the film, knowing that it might not be critically successful or that it might not be something that, you know, if you just did it for the sake of doing it, would you consider that to be a success or?
Oh, good question. I want to make something pretty clear as well. I actually stand by the film, which is a weird thing to say, considering that I did just bash it quite a bit, but I stand by it. I would want to see it.
Yeah.
If I had made it tomorrow, if I woke up and the film was on my hard drive, I would be desperate to watch it. The talking down thing is almost like a personality trait, more so than a reflection of the quality.
Fair enough. Thanks for clarifying that.
But what makes that? How do I define a success?
Well, I guess that kind of answers my question, because my point was more the fact that it seemed like you were saying, I'm not going to make this movie because it's not going to do well, or because there's there's not an audience for it, or whatever the reason was. And I guess my question was, if you decided to pursue it anyway, just for the sake of hitting that milestone, of achieving it by the time you're 30, do you think that even if you watched it back and you weren't happy with it, even if you watched it back and it didn't do what you wanted it to do, would you still consider it a success because of the fact that you've beaten that clock?
100%, but not because of the clock thing.
Okay.
Not at all. I think this is almost why I've chosen to abandon it. But if I was going to put it really succinctly, I'd say that early on in my filmmaking career, and part of the reason why I got into it, especially like a movie like 12 Monkeys would get to me for this reason, is I like the idea of invented realities. Because personally speaking, I think I've found a lot of time in my life not really fitting into a reality or just objective reality, not really seeing a place for me there. And so that's why films and art and all that kind of stuff is so interesting to me, and why I can get really sucked into it. So I really wanted to make something, for the longest time, I really wanted to make something that no one could kind of take away from me, that you have to watch and go, even if I don't like it, I can appreciate what's on the screen.
Sure.
So I think there was some want to be accepted that kind of informed the first 10 years of everything that I made independently. And this film is an outlier in that, and was always going to be. It's very weird, it's very self-indulgent, and it's made for maybe 10 people in my personal life that I love dearly. And the people who have read it, the people who helped me make the proof of concept, they love it. I think it's okay. But I stand by that. That's really all I needed from this project. And even without having made it, I feel like I found it.
So you were saying something to me before we started rolling, which was that you had to then go and tell the people who either, I mean, possibly Sam, but maybe there were other people who were involved in the proof, people who you were talking about possibly getting involved in the feature, that you weren't going to pursue that. And how do you, I mean, what was that like to, you know, are you disappointing them, or are they understanding that, yeah, fair enough, we tried something and it...
I think it was very understanding. So the whole idea, again, with it being as cheap as possible, everyone involved with the film on a cast and crew level was like a close personal friend, very, very trusted and loved close personal friend, which I'm very lucky to say. But there were only 3 people who were really ever on the project, as far as having read the script, as far as kind of knowing that they would be on a set for it. So that was Sam, one of my best friends who I've known since over half my life, Francesco Hall, who's a fantastic scriptwriter and gave notes on the script, and another friend of mine, Quan Nguyen, who I've made a ton of stuff with, music videos, music, just another dear friend. And the way I reached out to all of them and told them that it wasn't going ahead, the way that I framed it kind of made them almost happy. I think they were excited.
Interesting. Yeah.
They were excited to make the film. Happy is a weird response, but it's the way it was framed.
Okay, how did you frame it? If that's not too personal.
Not at all. Well, we can talk about why it doesn't exist in order to get there.
Please, let's talk about that.
Sure. So the film is about a main character who enters an invented reality because he can't face his current one, because it's too painful for him. And at the time of writing the script, I think I was in a very similar state. Now, after going through a few drafts and kind of making some changes in my personal life, I did a bunch of stuff in pre-production. We shot the proof of concept. We started fine-tuning the script, and it started resembling a film. And we kind of went, okay, pretty much ready to do it. But we had some stuff going on in like work and personal lives. Me and Sam and whoever was attached to the film that kind of delayed that start date. And it gave me just enough time to kind of re-examine my own life and look at where I was in relation to the massive undertaking that is making a feature. And knowing that I would have to portray that main character at a time in his life where it's incredibly volatile. And I'll spoil the film because it's not coming out. The film ends with a hint of hope. Just the idea that he takes that first step back to accepting reality. That didn't feel like enough for me in my own personal life. I think it felt true to the character because that kind of step is very scary, and it is a big, significant thing in someone's life. And it felt honest that the film would end like that. But seeing where I was in my life, being really genuinely in a happy place, I wanted more. And I didn't really want to spend 2 years of my life making a 90-minute long story about someone taking a first step towards happiness. I kind of just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I told the crew.
Rather than having that catharsis in this film to take that step towards happiness, you just wanted to Felix Wilkins actually take that step towards happiness? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, fair enough.
Why make a film about being happy in order to figure out how to be happy? Just be happy. It just feels like
that's good
pretty
advice,
obvious.
guys. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I think that, look, I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I think there are a lot of indie amateur filmmakers, everyone, not just the filmmakers, the actors, the writers, musicians, artists, where we create works that are an extension of our psyche at that, you know, I mean, that's the best kind of art, is something where you allow yourself to be very vulnerable and you know, cut yourself open and bleed on the page a little bit, if that's not too melodramatic.
It's graphic, but I'm into it.
But you do that, and then obviously, like, a lot of us have these kind of different points of our lives where, and at a certain point, and especially since we're always, with something like a film, especially a feature film, you're always going to be working on it for a really long length of time. And, you know, you might hit a point during that period where you're just like, I'm not sad anymore, and this feels very, I don't know, self-indulgent or something.
Or like navel gazing, just like
Exactly,
kind of like
yeah.
staring at the problem rather than attempting to fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a catharsis that comes from making a film about going through a problem. I feel like everyone who's made a film has done that, whether they know it or not. But there comes a certain point where I think you have to address stuff in your life without just making art about it. I really hope that no one relates to that statement. I really hope that no one is sitting there going, huh, really?
No.
That shouldn't be news.
It's going to be news to a lot of us, I think. I mean, I think we can all kind of intellectually understand it, but I think that, you know, a lot of artists, I mean, you know, there's a certain catharsis in, and maybe a lot of us, and maybe this was it for you, was that a lot of us need to write the very self-indulgent thing, and maybe even make some elements of it so that we can move past it and evolve. I mean, let's talk about what does that mean for you as a filmmaker? What does it mean for you as an artist in general? Like, what are you going to do moving forward? If
I think there's always been like a massive drive on my end whenever I've been making a film. It's almost like a tunnel vision thing. I can't do things in halves. It's either I'm not doing anything at all, or I'm doing everything and it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And I think for the first time, I'm kind of like, I don't mind zero.
Okay.
I don't mind doing nothing at all.
Right.
So I just want to see how long that goes. Maybe tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, I have it.
Okay.
Right now I don't.
Okay.
It's chill.
Before you were working on Hard Rubbish, what kind of film and content, I don't like using the word content, but like what kind of art were you creating before that in general?
I think I made content and art in equal measure.
Okay.
I've taught myself, I think the first actual entry practically into film is, and I think we're going to see a whole generation of filmmakers like this, is my first ever entry into anything film related was Call of Duty quickscoping montages. Mark my words, there's going to be a whole generation of writers and directors and editors who are inspired by FaZe Clan. And that will happen in the next 10 years.
All right.
But that was how
you
I
heard it
picked
here
up.
first.
That's how I picked up Adobe and editing suites for the first time.
Sure.
And at the time, obviously, you know, as a 12-year-old kid making quickscoping montages, what are you doing with your time in life? But then by the time I hit 15 and I was able to kind of scout out like freelance editing jobs.
Wow,
I was like
15.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I know the Adobe suite. That's a transferable skill.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first entry into it. And at first it was just like kind of making videos for friends and partners and family members just to try to make them laugh. And that eventually did transition into some really self-indulgent, like kind of iPhone horror movies. Just kind of like making genre movies in the backyard like a lot of kids at the same time. I feel like we're getting audio.
Yeah, that's the vacuum from the theater next door. They got Tron Legacy playing in there, and he just said it's Morven time. So,
that's a big moment.
Yeah, it's a huge moment. Spoiler alert, guys. It's Tron in time.
Oh, I love the part when he's like, I'm gonna Madam Web you.
Yes,
that's so good.
Hey, they haven't seen it at home.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a great movie. You guys got to go and see Tron Legacy, Morven.
Revengeance.
Revengeance.
That's the real subtitle of a G.I. Joe sequel.
Revengeance?
Revengeance.
Is that the one where Channing Tatum dies?
He fucking
in the
dies.
start of the film, and they had to rewrite it because the test screening didn't like the fact that he died.
I was so mad, dude. I was watching it for Channing Tatum, and then The Rock's in it, and this is 2011.
Yep.
And The Rock's not really like The Rock yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just killed Magic Mike for The Rock? It felt like a bad trade.
But didn't he come back? I haven't seen any of these movies. Didn't he come back?
It's been a while.
Okay. Because what I read was that they killed him off at the very start of the film, and then they sent it to test audiences, and the test audiences hated that they killed off Magic Mike, and so they reshot to put him back in. I guess like that he faked his death or something, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like that might happen in the third act. He pops back up and goes, "Hey, sorry, I had to visit my home planet." I think that's genuinely not far off. We're talking about Magic Mike.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, let's get back to it. Do you, having finished and cut together this film, what do you feel about it?
It's like a little snapshot, in the same way that this interview is going to be a snapshot, because it's coming at a weird place where I'm like, I don't know if I want to be making more films or less films, and I don't know what the next one's going to be. It's kind of that, because I think I made it out of a period in my life that was not fun, but I made the best of it with people that are still in my life who I value a lot.
Okay.
So when I look at it, I see it as making like the best of a bad situation.
Right.
And it's like very mildly funny at like 2 or 3 points. So if I get like a couple of out of it, that's all I need.
That's all any of us can hope for, isn't it?
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than what there was before the
So
film.
just because of the fact that this is a show called Planning to Fail, in terms of this film, do you feel like there were any failures or any failures to plan for certain eventualities, or anything that came up along the way that you weren't anticipating, that you had to adapt to and to be flexible in, and to kind of turn that around? Do you feel like there was anything?
100%. I think a lot of it the failures were almost preemptive, which led to me not wanting to make them. I discussed the personal reasons earlier, but there's also a couple of things that I still haven't really come to grips with, as far as almost like ethics with filmmaking. And this is coming from being fresh off a degree, a bachelor's degree in film, and seeing a lot of really talented friends go out into the world in the industry with RE certifications and like a ton on their portfolios and their resumes, and going out onto sets and not being compensated for their labor. I don't know how much this interview should be about this topic, but it's something that just doesn't sit right in my stomach.
Yeah.
The idea of, we need you to be pulling these like 16-hour days for 2 weeks, and you won't be getting paid. You're gonna have to take leave off your job. You're gonna have to drive to set. We're not compensating you for fuel. It is so fucking common, especially with ambitious projects. And this wasn't ever gonna make money, but it was ambitious. And I think it's fine for some people, but it's not fine for me. As far as a personal boundary, I don't want people to be paying to be a part of someone else's project.
Right.
That's something that I struggle with a lot, especially having seen a lot of friends kind of go through that over the last year.
That's a really interesting. So you kind of took an ethical issue with making your own film, knowing that you would have had to have brought people in who have this extensive training and ask them to work for free.
Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me.
No,
I can't afford to pay them.
But
so
can I
if
ask
wanted
you
to make
this?
a film-
Have you worked for free yourself?
100%.
How did you feel about that?
Sometimes greght.
Sometimes
it was
great,
a
okay.
passion project.
Yeah.
I've made a couple of films with you, and
Yes.
I didn't get paid for those, but that was fun as hell. But this was also a time where I was like very green. I was in the middle of my degree. I think I'm talking about like people who are professionals, people who are overqualified,
Sure.
cinematographers who are second AC on a feature that they're not getting paid to, people who have like done incredible like artistic things, not even specifically they're great in a role, like they are just great creatively, who have to be a runner for 10 years on sets just to get anywhere. And this also comes from, maybe there's a bit of disillusionment here, because this is, I have maybe one crew role I can do. I'm qualified to do well as an editor, and otherwise I'm a director.
Yeah.
And kind of looking from the top down, cut this out if you want. I think directors are useless. I think directors are useless, man.
Okay.
I think if you're a director, you should have some kind of other trade that you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, sure.
At the very least, so you understand how to help other people when they're helping you. But the idea of a director who just like has an incredible vision that is able to be communicated is not always realistic, especially when you're starting out. Unintentional advice: if you want to direct, learn lights, learn sound, learn something to bring to the table, because we have enough ideas out there.
Yeah.
It's actually the people who are literally spending their time and money and so many hours. I shouldn't be getting emotional about it, but I am.
Emotional.
I'm getting a little emotional because I think it's worth doing. I think when people are that willing to help you out of the goodness of their own heart, you kind of owe it to them to give something back.
Yeah.
I wish I saw more of that.
Yeah.
So until I'm able to give that back, at least financially or through working on other people's films, I'm very happy to say I can't afford to pay you, so I can't afford to make the film.
Well, let's talk about this a little bit, unpack this a little bit more, because I think that a lot of people who are going to be watching this, hopefully people will be watching this, a lot of people who are in that kind of like earliest stages of their career, of their filmmaking journey, will come, they'll have a script and they'll say like, I really want to make this film, but they don't do it. They don't pull the trigger because they don't think that they can ask people for favors. They have possibly an ethical objection, but possibly just like an anxiety around asking people to give up their time in order, without any kind of financial compensation, in order to make a movie. And as the creator of that project, you feel a lot of responsibility for those people and their time and the sacrifices that they'd be giving up. But at the end of the day, a lot of the trouble is, if I can, counter what you're saying, nothing's going to get made if everyone has that kind of attitude. And I think, for me as well, like this is your interview, so we're not talking about me here, but I am an actor first, and that's where I did my training. I write and I direct a little bit as well. I can edit too. I have a couple of those skills. I would love if someone, like I work for free all the time. I don't love it. Like I'd rather getting paid, obviously. But if you're not getting paid, for me, I would love if someone would come to me and say, do you want to work on this thing? And then, there's like a reciprocity where I do that thing for them and then maybe they'll do something for me. And so if we're all, not that I'm sitting here and saying like, fuck unions or anything like that, and let's
we love the union.
We do love the
Top
union.
text, bottom text.
But not that I'm sitting here and advocating for not paying people and not financially remunerating people for the time that they spent and for their years of training. But it's a kind of an awkward balancing act where at this level where there isn't the financing coming in, we really would like to pay people, but at the same time, if we have to do that, if we have to save up the money to do it, or if we have to exchange all of the favors and make sure that we're asking, in order to do that, are we ever actually going to get anything done?
Well, we have to start somewhere. I think it's unrealistic to say that I'm always going to be paid for my labor. I've got a video waiting at home for me, a music video that I'm not really getting paid to do.
Yeah.
So a hypocrite over here. But I do think that there's...
No, I understand why you do have an ethical objection to it. I think from your perspective, like if one of the people if Sam or Francesca or Kwan had said to you, I really want to work on this project, and they know they're not getting paid to do it. Like they know that there's no money coming into it. But I really I really strongly believe in this, passionately believe in this project. Would you maybe think about it? Like,
look, I will say Sam did say that to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Quan and Francesca would feel the same way. But it's just a personal boundary that I feel like I need to set for right now.
Fair
I
enough,
think it doesn't make sense for everyone. But for me, I think if I'm not demanding, but asking something from you, at the very least, I think you need to know that you're in safe hands and that like I am so sure of every decision.
Absolutely.
And I don't always have that.
Okay.
So if I had a feature and I was saying, I need this from you and it's going to be unpaid, I better fucking mean it.
Okay.
That's kind of where I stand.
Fair enough.
But as far as other people wanting to either work unpaid because they're passionate about it, go ahead. You set your own price, or you set your own worth.
Yeah.
And if the inverse is true, if you're just starting out and you want to make your first film, yeah, you should ask for favors. There's no harm in asking. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like kind of alluding to whatever the future is.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that because I did want to talk about that as well. So, knowing that you are having this whole, I don't want to call it an existential crisis because that kind of implies some sort of negativity and it sounds nothing but positive. But it sounds like you're at this place in your life where filmmaking is not necessarily the main driving force for you, in spite of the fact that you have spent that time at film school and you have, had this since you were 12 years old, been practicing it as an art. What does the future hold for Felix?
I like the idea of not knowing a little bit. I think like not knowing stuff is scary or has been scary as hell. Right now I really like that I don't know. Okay. Because I think that's a more realistic goal to set, is you're going to be happy. Yeah. And you just got to figure out what that looks like. Yeah. So I'm really happy to say I have no idea. I can't wait to not find out. That's a fucking dumb answer, but that's what it is.
You are going to find out, but
yeah. Or I'm just going to continue to not find out. Well, keep pursuing.
There's always one step ahead. One extra.
One battle after another.
One battle after another. There you go.
In theaters, October 17th. I've been Paul Thomas Anderson.
Actually, it's already in theaters.
Seriously?
Yeah. And today's not. Today, by the way, everyone, today's not October 17th. But I saw it last night, and it's good. It's already in theaters. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
Haven't had the time.
Someone once told me that especially in this line of work, you have to embrace uncertainty and you be excited by it. And it sounds like you are. You've got a music video at home that you're editing at the moment as well. Do you have any other kind of like, you're just kind of seeing what comes? And
I think my next project will be a birthday or Christmas present.
Nice.
I do little like Christmas cards.
I did that from time to time.
You do as well?
Not in the Christmas card. I'd like every now and again I'd edit a video for someone for a Christmas present.
It means a lot. I want one of those picture frames of the videos and put it in there. Yeah. Like a really bougie one.
Oh yeah.
But I like doing a little birthday animation for someone and just put a bunch of like in-jokes hand drawn around them. So it's probably something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Be the next big project.
Excellent.
After that, really excited to get like a bagel or something in the city. I don't know.
You're gonna wait until after you've made that though before you get the bagel? Like
yeah, it's a crazy diet.
You could just go now to get a bagel in the city.
No, work comes first.
Do you have someone's birthday lined up though?
Nope.
You're gonna be hungry then.
No, I'm gonna be starving. It's just like you gotta want it bad enough.
Oh, that's fair enough. Do you want to plug anything? Have you got any socials that you want to camera one right there?
I'm not on social media. Okay. But I'll tell you who is.
Who's that?
My baby brother, Owen Wilkins. Owen_Wilkins. Fix that if that's wrong. He's a really talented jazz musician. I'm immensely proud of him. I love him so much. Go check him out. I don't have social media, but he does, and he deserves it.
There you go. Go check out Owen Wilkins. And Felix, thanks for joining us. It's been a real pleasure. Looking forward to not seeing what happens next.
It's a great sign-off.
Well, it was until you said that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.